number of non-Africans in the flight used to be quite small in number, some 7-8 years ago. But in the last 5 years, things have changed. I remember I took a flight from Amsterdam to Nairobi in Kenya, and the number of, in quote now, whites in the flights were over 80%. And you keep wondering, what are they going to do in Africa? I thought Africa was the continent of poverty and suffering and depression. And guess what? When I ask my UK friends and colleagues, why you guys keep going to Africa? They tell me, hey, doc, Africa is where it's happening. Don't you know? Africa is where things are going on. Are you sure? But then when I ask my African brother and sister about Africa, what you hear is government says no correct. The place is useless. So it feels like while the non-Africans have seen something about Africa they are tapping into, the Africans haven't seen it yet. So while they are rushing to Africa, Africans are trying to japa. So guess what, friends? There seems to be a disconnect in the conversation, and I will explain what it is. So hear me well. If you look at it critically, friends, the reason they keep coming to Africa is because Africa is the continent with the biggest problems. Because problems are raw materials for solution and creativity. Are you following me? So it is in your capacity to solve a problem that you bring innovation and solutions. Uber is a US company. Uber doesn't have their cars. Uber doesn't have, as a matter of fact, in their portfolio, they rarely own anything, but they are a multi-billion-dollar company because they've been able to factor that there's a fundamental problem of logistics. Individuals want to be able to get to their destination in time at the right price. Are you following me? That's thinking as a problem person. What problems are you solving in your career? You know why? Because that is what begins to give you a competitive edge. Your capacity to see a problem which nobody is seeing and to be the solution to that problem, it's a competitive advantage in its first case. Do you know something, friends? When I hear on social media, somebody wakes up in the morning and says, hey, have you seen what the government Sorry, it's a noise in the background. When somebody wakes up in the morning on social media and says, have you seen what the government has done? Then everybody will start cursing the government. You know, for myself, I've built myself to the point where when somebody tells me a problem, I have an excitement in my tummy. You don't understand. Because problems are the raw material for innovation and creativity. Are you following me? So I can rightly say that Africa is blessed with problems. We are blessed with problems. Are you following me? It's the reason why almost 90% of my work is Africa focused. So when you wake up in the morning, friends, and you're about to pray, you know what your prayer should be? Lord, bombard me today with problems and give me the opportunity to be the solution, because therein lies your competitive edge. Are you following me? If you are following me, can you say yes, yes, yes in the chat? Let me hear you people. So the question is, what problems are you solving? Are you hearing me? What problems are you solving? Does problems, the idea of problems, make you happy like it does me? Because if it doesn't, that means you cannot be competitive. Guess what, friends? Look at Coca-Cola. Let me print you a picture. Coca-Cola is a company. In the very beginning, they have Coke. Are you following me? They were solving the problem of sugar and taste. Then all of a sudden, they discovered that some people like Coke, but they like small sugar. What did Coke do? Coke produced Coke, Diet Coke. After a while, they discovered, well, some people don't like Coke at all. What did Coke do? Coke produced Coke Zero. After a while, they discovered some people like Coke, but they also like strawberry flavor. So what did Coke do? They have Coke with strawberry flavor. In fact, maybe there's not even any strawberry in the Coke. When you just open it, the strawberry flavor just blows in your nose and you're fine. But Coke is being able to be sustained and to grow because they are constantly thinking in problems and providing solutions to those problems. That is the only way you can grow and be competitive. Friends, your capacity to see problems as your friend, therein lies your differentiation. What is it you are solving or trying to solve? Point one, what is it? I want to go to my second point. Who are you? This one is very important. So if you forget anything else I've said today, open your ears and hear me clearly. And I want to paint you a picture. Who are you? So let's have the microphone because this has to be interactive quickly. So I want to ask, when I say the word of the animal lion, you know a lion, okay? What words or phrases can you describe a lion by? Can you pass microphone around? People should give me answers. Let's go. You can also drop it in the chat. When I say lion, you know the animal lion, which words or phrases comes to your mind when you hear lion? So in the chat, we have brave. Shola says fearless. Oladoyin says strength. Can someone give the microphone to somebody in the room? Let me hear what somebody is thinking. How would you describe in a phrase or word the animal lion? Let's go.
A lion.
Oh, there's a massive echo. I didn't hear that. Sorry.
A lion is
so Bruno says bold and courageous. Soglo says strong. Oladoyin says strength. Beautiful. I'm sure you have many descriptions of a lion. But now let me tell you something that might surprise you. Oh, by the way, you remember I studied zoology in my first degree. So hear this. What if I told you guys, thank you very much. I can see just amazing words. Theodora says fearless, bold, strong, powerful. Good. Now, what if I told you guys, what if I told you that a lion is one of the laziest animals in the animal kingdom? What would you say? Are you following me? What if I categorically tell you that a lion is one of the laziest animals in the animal kingdom? What would you say? Guess what, friends? That's actually true. Everybody, if you have your mobile phone, bring out your phone. Let me show you something. Bring out your phones. Can I see this, the audience? I think I was enjoying looking at the audience on the screen. Can you bring out your mobile phones, please? Everybody, if you have a mobile phone and you have internet, can you go to Google, the Google search? Anybody in the room? Okay, are you hearing me? In Google, I'd like you to type, how many hours does a lion sleep in a day? Let's go. I'd like you to guys tell me the numbers you see. I told you I like to be interactive in my sessions because therein lies the connectivity. So Google, how many hours does a lion sleep in a day? Are you guys seeing it? Babs confirmed 21 hours a day, not over a week, in one day. Are you following me, friends? Now, let me rephrase the question that I asked earlier on. How would you describe a human being, man or woman, boy or girl, who sleeps for 21 hours a day? Oh yeah, describe. Let's go. I want to make a point. Describe it for me. Lazy. Someone, Oladoyin said lazy is not enough. So she said extremely lazy, redundant, goalless. Wala wow. There is wala. The bitch said, my daddy will disown me. I like that. So friends, what's my point? It doesn't matter. Hear me now, friends. Hear me and hear me well. It doesn't matter that a lion sleeps and snoozes for 21 hours a day. You know why? Because the 4 hours that a lion is active, it is so brilliantly amazing at what it does that it makes you forget its 20 hours of sleep. That's how brilliant the lion is in the 4 hours of activeness. But you know the reason why it's able to do that? Because those 4 hours of his activeness, the lion is expressing the design pattern of who he is. Hear me well, friends. You see a baby cub of a lion. At the initial stage, when it grows, its roar is very tiny and inconsequential. You can even kick it with your feet. But give that baby cub maybe 2-3 years time, the roar begins to improve and increase the more it roars. But guess what? Roaring comes naturally to the lion. It is in its design. Hear me well. I want to make a point. Do you know you can teach a parrot to bark? It's true. You can Google it. You can teach a parrot to make barking sounds, and it might be successful. But guess what? It might be successful, but it cannot be sustainable because its vocal cords of a parrot has not been designed to bark. Are you following me? So what am I saying so? Now look at this. A dog can bark. In fact, the average dog, maybe lifespan of 10 years, would have to bark 500,000 times in its lifespan. That is a lot of barking. So I tell you, friends, barking better be easy for a dog. Hello, I'll say it again. Because the barking of a dog or the roaring of a lion is important to its sustenance and survival. In fact, it is its competitive advantage by design. So it better be easy to eat. Hear me well. The question is, who are you? There are many people who just gallivant in life and career doing other people. You are like a parrot who is barking, and you are wondering why you don't have competitive advantage. You haven't been designed to bark. Friends, if you call God the Almighty Creator, you think He is not clever and smart enough to put design dimensions in His creation. I'll paint you a small picture. If you are a fridge, refrigerator, manufacturer of a fridge, hello, and then your friend had his birthday, so you sent your friend a fridge as a gift to use in his house. 2 weeks later, your friend is having his birthday party, so he invites you, the manufacturer of the fridge, to come to his house for dinner. So you walk to your friend's house, and he welcomes you into the house, and then he takes your coat and offers you water. Then you turn and you see the fridge, the gift you gave him. Hear me well, friends. So as you approach the fridge, you first notice that the cable hasn't been plugged. You say, interesting. Then you open the fridge. As you open the fridge, you know what you see? You see your friend's shoes and his clothes, neatly ironed, has been lined up in the fridge. Can you tell me, what will you do? I want to make a point. What will you do? This fridge you spent time creating. You reach your friend has nicely polished his shoe. And fridge has compartments, So he has chosen the upper compartment for shoe, the middle one for his clothes, and the lower one for his cosmetics. If I was the one, I will befriend you. Kia. Are you following me? Now, what am I saying? Hear me and hear me well, friends. Because when you understand who you are, everything is different. In fact, competitive advantage is easier. Are you following me? Now, for that particular point in time, the fridge is serving the purpose of follow me. That at that point in time, that fridge is serving the purpose of storage. Are you following me? But the ultimate reason why the designer designed the fridge was for conservation, preservation, and refrigeration. So you might be serving a purpose like a parrot who barks. But the question is, what is your design pattern? People talk about purpose, but people don't understand what it means. You can only be superbly competitive when you are living in purpose. Maybe I'll put it this different way. I'm trying not to go spiritual because I understand the audience, but I almost can't explain this without making you see the origin of why you are struggling. Are you following me? So that fridge is serving the purpose of storage with the shoes and the clothes, but the purpose by design of the fridge was designed to be for preservation of food. Are you following me? So the question is this: what purpose are you serving now in your life and in your career? The reason you are struggling is because you are a parrot who is trying to bark, and you actually have guests come and praise you and spray you money because a parrot is barking. A parrot hasn't been designed to bark. So the question is, what have you been designed to do? And there are ways to know this. So to explain this to you, friends, let me give you a story of my daughter. It's a very easy explanation, okay? So my daughter, at the age of, say, 3, okay, the music came on the radio and she started dancing. She was moving her legs, okay? But it wasn't really the fact she was moving her legs. It's the fact that she was dancing in rhythm. So it means that if you increase the tempo of the music, she would increase the movement of her legs. Are you following me? That's at the age of 3. At the age of 5, she said, Daddy, I want to draw. I want to write a book. By the age of 7, she wants to draw. Do you know that she's into music, into drawing, arty things? She likes drawing and painting. Friends, would I not be a wicked father to now make it compulsory she has to go and study medicine? Kinode, when I have clearly seen what our design pattern is, she's exhibiting it in my eyes. Friends, every mother knows what catches the fancy and interest of their child. You know what's even interesting? And hear me very well. As a matter of fact, when you exhibit those things that come naturally to you, the fact is they will come easy to you. Because like the barking of a dog, if it is important to your survival, it will be easy. Hey, people, hear me well. If it's important to your sustenance and your competitive advantage, it should be easy. You know, I like writing. I'm a writer. While I was in University of Benin in Nigeria, studying zoology, the study of animals, which is a nice study, by the way, I always knew I love writing because I discovered that words come easy to me. Can you follow me? I can write a piece of poem in 5 seconds, 5 minutes, quick. And my friends will look at the poem and say, Doc, how long did it take you to compose this poem? I say, just took me 5 minutes. They will say, in fact, they will spend 1 month still looking for the right words. And if you ask me, Doc, how did you know how to put words together, brother and sister? I cannot explain. You know the reason why? The reason I can't explain it is because that gift is in my design and it precedes me. You're not hearing me. That capacity I have that I'm exhibiting, it was the original thinking of the master designer. That's why I can't explain why I'm good at it. It is my roar. Are you following me? I know many friends of mine who will tell me, I work in a bank and I make lots of money, but I'm never happy. You can't be happy. But he will tell you, when I am doing fashion design, my goodness, it's as if I am at the best of my life. There's a reason why. It's tied to your sustenance and your competitive advantage. It begins with an understanding of who you are. I'll paint you a different picture. I know there are many students in the room, so I'll ask a big question. And I'd like people to raise their hands if you are in that category. So I want to make a point. Follow me. If you are sat in that room right now, and the course you are studying or the course you studied has no business with something you know you love. In fact, you love it so much that when you think about it, you have a rumbling in your tummy of happiness. If that is you and you're in that category, that there is something you love doing, you are passionate about. In fact, when you see other people do it, there's a way it makes you feel happy, but it has no connection with your current course of study. Can you raise your hands? Let me see. Can you see many hands up, eh? Some people are smiling because they know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, you get my point. You know what I mean. Hello? Are you following me? So look at what's happening here. It is okay to study what you are studying. The big mistake many people make is they relegate what they love doing that comes naturally to them to the background. You are relegating your competitive edge to the background because that thing comes with passion and it comes easy. Are you following me? That is a fundamental backdrop of how you should operate in your life and in your career. You see the way I'm talking? I can talk for Nigeria. Can't you tell? Even the way you in my voice, can't you feel it? I can talk to tomorrow because talking, have you noticed? I don't have any PowerPoint. I don't have even the slides. I've stopped sharing the slide because there's no need. I don't have time. But I have many things to get through to you guys. So you leave that room today feeling competitive already. You know what? Because guess what, friends? People don't get this. When God created you, he created you competitive. You don't understand me. The reason you are not being competitive is because you have not been exhibiting the original design in which you were made and what you're supposed to be doing. You can be doing a job that you only do because you are paid. Hello? If they say, I won't pay you next month, you won't go to that job. Oh, like you say, you don't like the job. But there is something you know in your heart that when you are doing it, you love it, even if nobody is paying you. Hello? In fact, friends, is the best position to be is when you are doing something you love and will do, even if you're not paid, and then get paid for it. It's finished. Hello? You can go to work only 2 days a week and you are still stressed. There are people like pastors who work 7 days a week and they are never stressed. How can they be stressed when they are lions that are roaring and not parrots that are barking? Are you understanding me? So whatever it is you are doing, make sure you are working in your design. God doesn't make mistakes. You guys know that. So God couldn't have created you and put you at a disadvantage. You are already in a competitive advantage when you were created. The truth is now your dimension to be able to operate in those spaces. Who are you? What do you love doing? Now, once you understand who you are, the next level is what I call enhancement. Is beginning to adapt to society of making what you are naturally good at, what is your design, making it more effective. It's almost like you create a designer of a car. Follow me. Create a car in mind. Do you realize that if you walk down some streets, you can actually see some poor people who maybe in the night it is very cold. They see an abandoned car on the street. What do? Do you know what they do? They open the car and what? And sleep inside it. So that car has assumed the purpose of accommodation. Are you following me? But can you tell me what is the original purpose of a car? Who can tell me? Talk to me. Can you tell me what is the original purpose of a car? It's for transportation. Yes. The designer of a car didn't design the car for accommodation. It was for transportation. But a poor man can live in his car. But guess what? You discover something. Anything that is not operating in its purpose begins to deteriorate. That is the reason why you will see a car packed down. Even if you don't touch it, it just begins to rust. Because the car hasn't been designed to be left stationary for a long time. It's supposed to be in motion. Hello? So if you're not operating in your own design pattern, you will start rusting. You're probably wondering, how do I know what I'm supposed to be doing? I've given you pictures. Does it come easy to you? Do you love it when you are doing it? Does it bring benefit and enjoyment to your heart? Can it bring benefit to others? These are dimensions of knowing that you are operating in who you are. That's your design. You know, interestingly, there are cars and there are cars. There are cars that have been designed to operate only within the house or within the street, from market to office, office to the shop. How many of us know Formula One cars? Those Formula One cars have also been designed for transportation, but their own transportation comes with entertainment. That's why people pay lots of money just to go and see the speed with which that car runs. Are you following me? So there are even dimensions of purpose. I won't go into that today, but maybe for some other time. There are dimensions of purpose people don't realize. But anyway, back to the central point, who you are. Once you know what you love doing and are supposed to be doing, things become easier. Then the next thing is what you have. Follow me now. There is something everybody in this room have equally in equal amounts, and it is time. What you have. A poor man, a rich man, a beggar, a street man, all of you have 24 hours in a day. Do you know, have you heard people use the phrase, I'll find time to do it? Which time are you finding? There is 24 hours in a day, except you operate in a different planet where there is 27 hours. Are you following me? Have you heard the phrase, time is money? So actually, if you think about it, time management is the control of self in order to control time. And friends, ladies and gentlemen, hear me well. People who succeed and have competitive advantage are individuals who have fully understood the dimension of time control. It's true. Because if I have 24 hours and you have 24 hours, why am I making money and you are broke? It's because I understand the navigations and the use and the control of the 24 hours I have been blessed with, just like you have. That in itself is competitive advantage. Hear me well. The control of self to control time. Because you can't control time 24 hours. So time is money. So let me paint you a rhetorical picture. And I'd like you guys to answer in the room and on the chat. If you went to a bank A, there are two banks, bank A and bank B. Hear me. In bank A, you walk into the bank and the AC blow you to the, hey, this AC is good. And in fact, the receptionist will offer you tea, offer you coffee, orange juice, apple juice to sit down. You sit down in their sofa, and the sofa receives you with open arms, soft and nice. Are you following me? But their interest on your investment is 5%. That's bank A. Bank B, you walk into the bank and the AC is 0.25. Yeah? And there's so much queue in the bank. Nobody's offering you any juice. Maybe at best they give you water. But bank B investment interest rate is 30%. By show of hands in the room, will you invest in bank A? Show me your hands. Nobody. They have good SEO. Have you forgotten? They have nice sofa. You won't invest there. Okay, I'll repeat. How many of you would invest in bank B? Show me your hands. Reply on the chat. Fantastic. So all of you like money. I can see you like money. That's why you are going to invest in bank B. But take that rhetoric expression as an example. If your time is your money, in which banks are you investing it? Some of you would watch movie or watch series A, episode 1 to episode 10, back to back, binging, kilo day. With the episode finished tomorrow, can't you continue some other time? You are wasting the money you have on rubbish banks, and you are looking for competitive edge. Hello? You need to first understand that your time is your money, is your wealth. And how you invest it shows how you are competitive. Are you following me? Do you know people don't realize this? And a good way to get a grip of your time is to fundamentally do what I call a time map. Before I go to time map, let me paint you a picture of how much time you have. I hear people will tell me, doctor, you don't understand my family life. I work 9 to 6. I'm in traffic. I don't have time. There's the kids and the family. I don't have, people just keep telling me that and I just smile. Anybody who tells me they don't have time to do important things, I only ask them a simple question and I tell them, okay, sir, I agree you don't have time. But let's imagine in my hand, I'm holding a check for $1 million. Hear me well. And I say, I will give you this money now, but I will only give it to you when you do 2 things. The first thing is, the things you are doing now, you are complaining is taking all your time. Keep doing it. Are you following me? But then do 5 new simple things, new things that shows to me you are serious about your progress. Then I will give you $1 million. Can somebody in the room give the microphone to somebody? Tell me what would happen. I want someone to raise up their hand and respond to the question. What would happen? If I gave you the condition, I will give you $1 million. Hello? If you keep doing the things you complain takes your time, but then do new things, activities that shows you are serious about progress, what would you do? Olubade Damola on the chat says, I will perfect both conditions. That's true. All of a sudden, you get creative. You get innovative with your time use, because there's $1 million waiting for you. Are you following me, friends? So is it because you don't actually have time? Or is it because you don't know that you have time? And a simple way to know how much time you have, you can try this. Do a time map. Just choose 1 week, Monday to maybe Saturday or Sunday. Use an Excel spreadsheet. Just map the things you do. Let me say from morning, I wake up by 6. From 6 to 6:20, I pray. 6:20 to 6:30, I brush my teeth. Do like they see a list of activities you do and how long you spend doing them over a week period. You know what you discover? You will be shocked how much time you spend doing absolutely nothing. You know, for students in the room, and this is how you increase your capacity, because you need to understand that you have to invest. You know what? In the beginning, I told you, building involves work. It's a process. So most of you say, well, I don't have work experience as a student. Who told you that? I showed an experiment, and I captured this in my book, The Graduate Code. The experiment is very simple. I rang about 10 students, and I told them, do something for me. Write a letter of who you are, your name and everything. Get your lecturer on campus to write you a support letter. Because every university have one thing in common. They have a list of companies, SMEs around and inside them. So walk to any of these SMEs and say, sir, I am a student on this campus. Is it possible for me to work for you for just 3 hours a week and it's okay not to pay me? All the students, there were 10 of them, they tried it, and within 1 week, they all got jobs. And this is the beautiful thing. There is no CV where you have to write how many hours you worked in a week. You only write January to December. Am I wrong? You only write what experience you gained. And secondly, there is no CV where you have to write how much you were paid. So right away, because of innovation and understanding of time, you can put yourself to volunteering in spaces you can offer your service increase your capacity, and your CV has a competitive advantage because you have evidence you've worked for somebody. 3 hours a week is nothing to a student. Are you following me? How many of you spend hours and hours on WhatsApp? You will be browsing Instagram, looking at the new shoe that Davido bought. You don't even have money to buy the shoe. Are you following me? You don't have money to buy the shoe, but you will be complaining that he hasn't given his wife enough money. Coin, what's your business? Do you know how many short courses you can do? Hear me now. In over a month's period, everybody bring out your phone. Let me show you something. Why? To build a pedigree, it has to be intentional. You can't be haphazard. Everybody bring out your phone. Go on Google. Because sometimes I wonder what people do with their phones. I don't understand yet. So go on Google. On Google, type free, begin with free. Free international courses then write your area of interest or specialty. If it's fashion design, if it's cooking, if it's baking, if it's education, write anything that interests you, especially if it is not what you are studying at school. So you might be studying chemistry, but you love fashion. So type free international courses in fashion. See what happens. Enter. You will see a long, endless list of short courses. Free ones you can do and get certificates. That's how you use your time effectively. That's competitive advantage. So that when you graduate, while your mates only have 1-page CV, you have a 4-page CV. They say, Claude, that's because in your CV, you've worked for that company, worked for this company, worked for that company. You've done this course, this other course. So your CV has gravitas because you were using your time intentionally for important things. Stop gallivanting across campus. You know, for example, it's very interesting. You look at most campuses, they all have one thing in common. The number of events and flyers and posters on campus is incredible. But you keep walking past those posters and walking past. In your department, there's one conference or the other happening all the time. And because you're a student, you don't care. The next time you're walking past a poster, stop by, look at the poster, look at the, what do you call it, that number, the contact. Call the number. Sir, I saw the poster, you're organizing an event. Can I come and volunteer and help to plan the event? I will help to buy the pure water. I will help to buy the flyers. Whatever you want to do, just help me. You go there, work with them. They finish the event. At the end of it, you carry your CV. I was part of the supersonic team that helped in the organization of the international. What are you saying? Yes. Intentionality. I remember while I was on campus in University of Benin, I used to have a supervisor, a professor who was amazing. So I was the best in his class. And I was thinking in my mind, so what extra thing can I do to be competitive compared to my mates? You know what I did? I now discovered that he comes to school early in his car. So I will come earlier and wait close by. As he's coming down from the car, I will rush to him, collect his bag. I will carry his bag, walk with him to his office, drop it. I will figure a way when he closes from work. I will wait close by. When he finishes from work, I'll go upstairs, collect his bag, take it to his car. Who can tell me what is that job role? Write it in the chat. What would you call that role? If you like, laugh at me, that's your business. I am a PA by force. Yes, you have to be intentional. This world, there's too much opportunities. But you just sit down one place and think everything should be given to you. I am an admin PA. It's in my CV. If you like, laugh at me. Then from there, what happens? The man likes what I do. It gives me extra responsibility. You need to be intentional in the building of a house, or else a house you're supposed to build for just 3 months, 1 year is still there. There's no roof. And you're wondering why you're not progressing. what you have time. I'll move quickly. I've got just about 5 minutes more to wrap up. I've got too many things to say, but I'll wrap it up. The next thing is who you know. Who do you know? Because in life and careers, why do you think lions, they hunt in a herd? Are you following me? They work in a group. In life, there is no isolation, especially now when we live in a globally connected world. Friends, so who do you know? Are you intentional about who you know? Most of you are on Facebook, on Instagram, and all you do in the morning, yesterday you add, friend request, dosumu you add, criminal you add, 419 you add. You are interested in the numbers of followers and ads and poke and like that you have. Have you ever asked yourself, wait a minute, who am I adding? Who in my list is important to my progress? Are you following me? Most of you don't realize that you literally walk past the person designed by God to help you in your progress, and you don't even know you walk past them. Because you're not intentional in wanting to know people. You are stuck in one location when we live in a globally connected world. How many of you are on LinkedIn? Show me your hands. Let me see the room. How many of you are on LinkedIn? If you are not on LinkedIn and today pass, you don't have LinkedIn, there's something wrong with you. Hello, I'm sorry, but it's true. How can you want to grow and be competitive and you have no presence in the biggest professional network in the world? And what's more interesting is most of you have a 5-page CV, 7-page CV, 10-page CVs, 2-3-page CV, and your CV on LinkedIn is only half a page. And you are saying that, doctor, there's somebody pursuing me in the village. Which village? Are you following me? So today, not tomorrow, make sure you go to your LinkedIn page and update it. Give yourself a competitive advantage. Take short courses. Today, not tomorrow. I mean, you just Google it. Say, okay, once a month, I will do a free short course. It's free. Do you know to watch a football match of Manchester and Arsenal is 2 hours? Yes? 45 minutes first half, 5 minutes second half, and the break in between. You can spend 2 hours doing something tangible in the building of your career house. Who do you know? You know, Google people in other countries. Don't just be stuck in your country, your location, as local champion. Friends, be intentional. Go on LinkedIn and find out who is doing what I'm doing in a university in Kenya. Yes. Add them to your contacts. Write them. I am a student studying in this university. I'm a professional lecturer in this campus. Upon my investigation, I discover you also do the same thing in Nairobi, in Uganda. Africa has 55 countries. Aren't you tired of just the only people you know are Nigerians? And you have internet. How can you be competitive when you are isolated? Hello? That makes no sense. So be intentional in who you know. Go out and look for people. And by the way, it's very important. Before you introduce yourself to others, to get a new contact or a new friend, to build your network, make sure that you are available in the virtual space. Because the first thing they will do is Google you. Are you following me? So I tell myself, before somebody Googles me, let me first Google myself. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you Google yourself now and Google is having epilepsy, trying to look for you, that means we have a problem. We have a problem. Or you Google yourself and Google's having epilepsy. At the end of the checking, Google say, did you mean this person? There's trouble. Are you following me, guys? So you have to be intentional. You can't operate in isolation. Are you getting me? So who you know. Then I will end it with the last part. Is actually what you need. What you need is skills, the right knowledge to increase your capacity. A baby cub that roars begins its roaring, even though it comes naturally to it. But the more it learns about the capacity of roaring, the more the baby cub gets better at it. It gets to the point where the baby cub will know, when I roar in the morning, it affects the left side of my throat. Follow me? That only comes by knowledge and practice. That's what you need. Is to start doing new things and keep doing them. That's what you need. Learn new skills. You are a fashion designer by passion. You can get better at it if you actually learn about it. I tell people, I say, listen, I always knew I love writing and I love speaking, but I spent 4 years in the university because I was in the Department of Zoology. I never visited the Department of English, and I knew I love English and writing. Can you imagine? Meanwhile, the English department is literally like 10 minutes walk from me. You know, I interviewed about 100 professors, and I asked them, Prof, sir, if you are a professor of business and you're in the business department of the university, and a science student came to you and said, sir, I'm a science student, but you know, I like business. Is it okay, sir, if I just come and sit in your class? I won't even talk. You won't even know I'm there. I'll be in the back, just listening to business courses. Is it okay, sir? Do you know what? Friends, over 90% of the professors told me that they will be happy with the science student. In fact, many of them told me that as far as they are concerned, that will be his best student. You know why? Because he doesn't know whether all his current students even hate him or they are in the course, but every time he leaves, they swear for him. But this very student who isn't supposed to be here and then decides to come is his best student. Intentionality in building. You following me? I think on that note, I will end the talk and I'll be open to questions. Thanks for an opportunity to impact you. Thank you very much.
better competitive edge in our designed area. And also, and that answers the question of what purpose are you serving in your life and career. And the third one is talking about what you have, and that discusses primarily about time management, how you can control your time, how time is money, and how precious is your time, and how you need to take proper control of your time. And quickly, he talked about the fourth one, and that's who you know. And that's in the aspect of building relationships and trying to make intentional efforts to know people, getting yourself a competitive advantage by updating your specific social media profiles. He cited the example of LinkedIn and trying to search for people in your niche across the globe. And he also told us that we can't be competitive if you are isolative. So, and the last one is what you need. And he said you need skills and the right knowledge in your chosen field of career. And we need to start doing new things and keep doing them. So that's the summary. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that recap. Now we'll move to the question and answer session. So I believe we have questions. Okay, yes.
Okay. All right, I want to appreciate the facilitator, Dr. Akanimo Odon. Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. My question goes thus. You talked about passion, and that from our passion we can find our identity. But for those people who are passionate about more than one thing, they are passionate about maybe 3, 4, 5 things. They can speak very well, they can sing, they can write, they love sports, they are into sports, and they can also be into academics. So I'm just giving an example. Now, how can they build capacity in those dimensions? Probably maybe in like 4 dimensions, in like 5 dimensions. I'm talking about those people that they always used to call jack of all trade and master of none. Does that mean that person will be master of none? Or does that mean that person can actually build capacity in all those dimensions and still be great? Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Dr. Odion. Maybe I should just start on this note. Well, I want to reflect back on our, subsequent meetings and basically making reference to this when you talked about problems in Africa. Well, by just maybe on a lighter mood, you have demonstrated that for me, and I've actually learned from it, taking it from the fact that maybe you can recall the meeting that held in base universities years ago, where some ODL experts are asked to gather, and people from University of London were there. Now, when I was in that meeting, everybody, when people white were coming to deliver a message, want to listen, want to see what they have to say. But it turned out to be that one Akanimo Odion was the marathon speaker, during that program. To the subsequent one that held not quite long, talking about the online examination. So you actually find a way to build some confidence, and linking that, you said that there are certain things that we have in Nigeria, maybe that we don't appreciate. Before going to my question, I just want to lay that foundation. There is a project we were involved in with some people from other universities, US, US, Namibia, Kenya, and so on and so forth. And we had to collect data. And I discovered that when the update was given, just this week, I discovered that out of all the respondents, 36 from Nigeria, 2 from US, 7 from Namibia, and 5 from Kenya. And I was just wondering, what do we have? I mean, two from US, almighty US. Now, just to buttress your point on what we have that we don't actually follow in Africa. Now, going to my question, the process of self-discovery. How do we do that? Recently, I myself, my friends who are seated in this meeting, we are trying to analyze the, the personality. Some are sanguine, some phlegmatic, some melancholy. And what they have to draw out from all these personality contrasts, okay, given the career pursuit. So can you highlight on this process of self-discovery? And the second point I want to alert, you also alluded to your daughter, a kind of thing that you have observed in her. And there's a friend, an individual who has a son. He discovered that this son was good in writing. He had a writing skill to the extent that he wrote a novel. And somebody who is a professional in English language has to assess it and discover that, wow. But the child is interested in science. Okay? How do you counsel that individual? So the two questions are the process of self-discovery, and the other one is the process of how you advise somebody who is passionate in some trait, but want to pursue some other discipline. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that question. I'm sure our speaker has noted the two questions asked, but we'd like to take one question from the Gen Z generation.
All right, I think someone has a question. And before that, please, those online, you should also be aware that, please, if you can voice your questions, please just do that. And if you can't do that, drop it in the
chat box.
comment section. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the wonderful delivery. My question is this: for some of us, we were in school already before we discovered what our passion was, and now building passion and then building academics, which should be prioritized more, the academics or what your passion really is?
All right, thank you very much. Do we have any other questions?
You can also write your questions in a sheet of paper. The usher is passing papers around, so you can write your questions. Sir, over to you.
Okay, yeah. So I've been allowed now. So I wasn't. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah. So these are very, very. If you can hear me, yes, you can. So I know what is happening, because I think that these are very exciting questions. Beautiful. And so, and actually, what I would do is this: you've asked 3 different questions, or maybe 4 questions, but they are quite answer them carefully and give answers to all. Are you following me? So you hear me very clearly. Now, going back to my analogy of a lion, okay? A lion can roar, but it can also run. You follow me? A lion can run, but it can also jump. There are different characteristics that makes the compatibility of the fullness of the lion. When you say a lion is king, it's not just because it roars. Roaring is a feature of the lion. So my point is this: it is okay. In fact, most times you have individuals with multiple passions, and that's fine. Okay, but the point is this. Remember, if you remember very carefully, I told you that that's why I began the talk with what it is. And what it is I was referring to was problems. And the reason is this. So hear me now. You know, on a CV, if you have a CV, you have like your name, date of birth, education, work experience. there's usually a part of the CV you write and you call it hobbies and interests. Now, the reason is a very tiny part in the CV is because right now, follow me, this is very important. You do that hobby or interest for yourself. Is to relax when you are stressed from the work. You go and do an hobby and interest. Are you follow me? Now, there is no career. In fact, by creation, there is nothing created for itself. You're not following me. That's why a tree doesn't eat its fruit. Okay? That's why it's be fruitful and multiply. So creation design pattern is for others. My point is this, that if an interest and a passion, for it to even have the nearest potential of being a career, the benefit shouldn't be to you. The benefit of that trait or characteristic should be to others. Are you getting me? That's fundamental. So as long as the benefit is to you, it can be a hobby and an interest and passion, but you're the one getting the benefit. It never is able to put yourself in a position of where it can actually be a career opportunity. So what am I saying so? Because growth is based on problems. When you have 5 passions back to back, okay, what happens is this. When you keep doing them, it's like my daughter. I told you she can draw, she can paint, she does music, she wants to write. But if you ask her right now, of all these 5 things, which one is the most important to her in terms of priority, she knows very clearly what it is. And in case you don't know what it is, I always like to introduce what I call the money trigger. So a good way to know what it is if I ask you and say, brother, who asked the question? My boss. You've got 5 passions and they're amazing. You love them. I will give you $1 million, but you only have, what will happen is this, very carefully. You begin to now think in your mind, which of this passion is easier for me to do? Because if, as I was telling you, there are dimensions of purpose. In the same way, there are dimensions of ease. You will not right away think about which one is easier for me to do for the bigger value or impact. Your mind begins to articulate this, even though you have multiple passions. That's why you will be able to creatively decide which one you will go for to be given $1 million of investment. That means that if you think about it carefully, you might have many passions, but there is one that is superior because the ease of its expression in connection with the availability of problems for it to solve makes it superior. Am I making sense? Can that brother who asked the question let me know if what I'm saying makes sense or not before I continue to the next point? Hello. Hello. Okay. I can continue. That's fine. So I'll go to the second question. So the second question is the process of self-discovery. And it's a very, very powerful question, actually. Now, it's a bit difficult. Many times, people exhibit what they are supposed to be exhibiting, but don't consider it as important to their sustenance. Are you following me? So my point in the first instance, it's like a baby cub that roars in the first instance. You start doing this thing, and you can explain why you are good at it or why you do it. So guess what? You know you are good at it, but you haven't linked it to career or linked it to passion yet. You only know you can do this thing. So the fundamental premise is the fact that if you are good at it and it comes naturally to you, it is important to you, to your living, because somebody put it there. If you have no understanding why you're good at it. Am I making sense? So that in itself is discovery. Now, there are many people who just gallivant through life and get to the point where they are confused and they're wondering, well, so I want to now discover what I'm supposed to be doing. The chances are they probably already know. So all I can say is self-discovery comes about by asking the right questions to evoke the response that puts you in the point of knowing, okay, based on this, that, and the other one, I'm supposed to be doing this. So I'll give you some questions. In my new book, I call it the 7 questions, or I call it the 7 questions of gauging your self-discovery, or the plumb lines. And they're very simple, and they're 7. And the questions are this: do you do it with ease, or does it come naturally to you? Number 2, do you not remember when you knew you could do it? Number 3, do you not remember learning it in the first place? Number 4, do you get better the more you do it? Number 5, can you do it for free? Number 6, do you feel happy and excited when you do it, while you are doing it? And number 7, does it have the potential to solve a problem and make others happy too? If you can think about these 7 dimensions, if you are able to at least answer 5 of the 7 questions, trust me, I've done this many times, it will systematically place you in the location where you know what you're supposed to be doing. I captured this nicely in my book, in my new book. Okay, it's a powerful tool. As a matter of fact, I've also captured the process in my new mobile app. So that's how you know. That's a discovery. Now, friends, there are many people who just know they can do one thing. Therein lies a problem as well, because it's possible you can do 5 things, but you don't know the 4 things yet. And guess what? You will never know the 4 things until you try them. So you cannot remove self-discovery from experimentation. So I tell people, try your hands on many things. If you try your hands on drawing, the drawing doesn't make sense, you are struggling, then maybe cut it off. You try your hands on volley. Maybe the beginning is a bit difficult, but before you know it, you catch on, then keep it. So experimentation is important to the revelation of design. Are you following me? Good. So I don't know, I've answered some questions. So the next one is the students. Do I build passion or build academics? So it's a very political question. So I'll answer it politically. If your parents are paying your fees and you're in school, you can't just wake up and say, I beg, I want to follow my passion. Who will pay the fees? So wisdom is in play. Okay, that's the first point. So your academics and your passion. You can't expect somebody in the final year of university to say, oh, my passion is killing me, I'm too passionate. Then leave the final year and go and follow passion. That's just stupidity. So there's a level of sense, of common sense involved in the question. Then number 3, okay? Now, if you are self-sufficient and you think you are capable enough and responsible enough and have the capacity to make a decision to quit your academics and follow your passion without it affecting anything critical, those are the key words, then do it. If not, my advice is follow through systematically. The trouble I find is many people just follow academics and they forget passion totally. I'm not saying follow passion as equally as academics. I'm only saying follow passion no matter how small you follow it. Because passion has something about it. There's a unique design within passion. If you spend 5 days in a week on academics, especially in a course you don't like, you might progress in your life for 10 miles. Guess what? If it is passion, you only need to spend 5 hours to get the same progression of 10 miles. That's how passion is designed. Does that answer your question? Yeah, so I don't know if there are other questions. I don't know if I've answered the questions nicely, if it's clear to you guys. As a matter of fact, and it's a good point that everybody raised, as a matter of fact, it's even better while you are doing that study of yours, that's why I told you, do short courses in your passion, because academic knowledge in your passion enhances it. In my program, I call it the DEED pathway, D-double-E-D. The first D is discovery. Second E is empowerment. And I believe discovery should be at secondary school level or primary school. The first E is empowerment, which is at university. So you should empower what you discovered. So like my daughter, it's clear to her at university, she will study a course that's related to arts. And then the next E is enhancement. So you enhance what you've empowered. Then finally, distribution. That's the ultimate leverage of career equilibrium, where you are now distributing your passion for revenue and remuneration and for impact.
Thank you so much, sir, for answering our questions. I think we have a question online.
I think it has been answered, so.
Okay,
Yeah,
are there more questions? Are there questions on paper? Okay, all right then. So we can move